Yo, guys. This is your man Bubba here. Sorry, I'm a bit with a little cold, so my voice is not the best. Yes, Dave. Thank you very much. Happy to be here as usual, as weekly. And yeah, the our lovely orange man. It's really, from my point of view, fucking with the markets. Maybe that. Well, I think because I like to think, let's say, badly about this kind of situation because this is not just a case. I think they are insider trading in crypto and stock markets. I mean, they are really making some good money, these people. But yeah, apart from this personal idea, I remember that everything in this video is not financial advice. It's only for the educational purposes, my own personal ideas. You do what you want with your money, with your analysis, and you are the one pulling the trigger for your money. So, guys, what happened yesterday? Happened simply that Trump is following this, to be nice, let's call it a negotiation technique, where he's forcing other counterparties to sit at the table, and he's doing it in a kind of a bully way, from my point of view. Then gives this news, get the news out that everything is delayed for next 90 days. So we get this kind of crazy, quick, sharp moves. Most of the times, every time we had a sharp move due to a news that was bullish or bearish or whatever, we corrected it entirely. This was, if I don't remember, one of the last news we had at the beginning of March, completely retraced. This it's yesterday's news candle, and we are about to almost retrace it completely. So we are subject, we are basically kidnapped by those news in this last period. So you can do the best technical analysis and news can fuck it up completely. So let's abstract from news related stuff right now. The charting here, you can see, let's go on the daily. We haven't really tapped in the green box, but we went very close twice. We are start forming on lower time frames, I believe. Yes, there is a 4-hour bull div. Yes, it's a 4-hour bull div here on the RSI. And basically, right now, we just corrected, end up correcting, I believe, in this move. Yes, exactly. Corrected this move down with a bounce towards the golden pocket with this kind of double bottom formation that would have been confirmed on the 4-hour also without breaking these internal highs in here. Well, we just closed a few minutes ago inside. So let's see if this can rebound back and go seek for more liquidity on this fair value gap, or even higher. We could go about taking all those highs in the 88 zone. This was basically the zone where to have a short, and this is what I shared yesterday or 2 days ago, another server. So that if we were to go and do a swing failure pattern above this clustering here, this demand zone, this would have been a good short entry, and there it goes. Now it's just with the opening of the of Wall Street to the last 4 hours, like I said, we are retracing this move. So let's draw some fibs to see from here. I would have loved this to hold, the 80K to hold, to confirm this low, well, it's on the 4 hours, so it's not even that low time frame, double bottom formation with the R retest in here would have confirmed perfectly for a breakout higher and go seek liquidity on the 88K zone. But right now, if we wanna just watch correcting this move, we have those two key zones to watch for reaction. The golden pocket in here, the 0.75, and I personally on this I like more the 0.75 zone. And why so? Because it's just under the news candle. So this means that going in this zone, that means 76.5, 77, so okay, zone, we would basically go and hunt all the stop losses of the news. And this it's important because we can see from here, this is Velo data, we can see that there has been exactly on the news candle. Here, this is the sorry. This is the spot premium, that when it's red, it's spot having premium against perps. And we had just for 5 minutes where perps went crazy, OI spiked a lot, and also the funding rate was increasing, where we went pretty high. So in this zone, there are a lot of long that opened, and I feel pretty confident say that there are good chances we go and stop those. So we are about there. It could get front run because on very low time frames, see, it's kind of consolidating above my green box I have in this chart. And this is, so if we were not to bounce right now in this box, we will probably go and take the equal lows that we have, kind of equal lows that we have formed in here. So this would mean, it's gonna bigger chart, this would mean on the 4 hour that we could go and tap probably the box that is, so the zone 71 to 74K will be tapped, and I hope this is gonna be where some consolidation, and a shift on lower time frames on the market structure will happen, because in case those box will have not to hold, and then there are a lot of untapped lows that market would be seeking, and this would be in here 68. We have lows in here, we have this, so this could create a very heavy capitulation week. That how low, I personally don't think we should go under the 60K, but possibilities are there. So this is what I see. I give a read to the chat for a moment. At least FUG from yesterday's bounce closed. So let's see on lower time frame now. Yes, Bitcoin is heading or this golden pocket or the 0.75, and here is important that if you are bullish on a lower time, wanna be bullish on a lower time frame, you want to keep having higher lows forming, or this doesn't look that good on the lower time frames. So my perspective on Trump USA, well, I remember I'm Italian living in the Netherlands. Yesterday we just had the news that would be NATO meeting here. I guess next week the whole city center will be blocked because there is this NATO meeting. My perspective on Trump, I personally am not a fan of Trump. Never been. I hoped that he could have been a bit, let's say, more better with the results for the crypto when he basically has been using, like he's doing with whatever he touches, using for his own personal purposes. And as an Italian guy, it remembers me a lot of Berlusconi. So I see that he basically doesn't, from a point of view, he doesn't give a shit about US citizens, like Berlusconi was not giving a shit about us Italian citizens. He's just do his own business. He's managing the government, so the whole United States. Like Berlusconi was kind of a boss of a company, bully style. So I don't think he's the best person for the job. This doesn't mean at all I would have loved to have Kamala Harris on the job too. I see that the major problem is creating, from a point of view with the markets, is this uncertainty that is giving to the markets. That's why markets are moving in this crazy, sharp way at the news. Because the more the uncertainty, the more the market likes to be risk off, and he's playing with this. So I think that he has been also kind of set up by the previous administration, by how the economy has been run in the past few years, has been set up in a very difficult environment, economical environment, where it doesn't have that many possibilities, that many things it can actually do, like just print more money all of a sudden like this, because of the super high public debt United States has right now. It's hard to say, but I am on an economical perspective, on a more financial market perspective. What I think is that also on, let me pull my Standard & Poor chart here. So this is a chart also better to weekly, where there is a clear impulsive move from my point of view on Elliott wave point of view. We tapped almost perfectly what was the potential top zone. We are correcting so far more or less from this projected zone. So what I'm expecting, what I want to say with this is that I'm expecting in any case some sort of top formation in case market is starting to top, and this was the first signal of the top this cycle, because I remember we come from quite a nice run. It basically went up only for a 10x the Standard & Poor. So a correction is due, also a bigger correction. Here this drawing is not on time, it's not time based, but level based. This is what I see. This is kind of, from my point of view, inevitable to have a correction on the markets. So it's something that is bigger than Trump himself, and I personally don't think he could be that revolutionary good with economics, with handling the United States politics, that he could fix this kind of very major important structure that comes actually from a lot longer. This is my whole thesis of the secular bull market on the Standard & Poor that is about to end. So this is a correction of 100 years of history that potentially might happen, and this is the pico top. So this is something very big behind that I don't think he's able to change on his own, or with just being president of the United States with these abilities and possibilities. So we are about to experience probably a very heavy bear market in the next few years. But before the very heavy bear market, I still do believe we need to basically replicate something like this. We kind of topping now, having the first correction, double topping, so following the ABC corrective structure, and then once the bear market will be over, there will be some black swan event close to the end, or a white swan after the last capitulation. We will restart maybe a secular bull market, but how low we can go, I don't actually know exactly, Dave. This is I use a lot of Elliott wave, no? So what people calls super cycle, it's a word that has been introduced by Elliott for probably was in 1933, if I don't remember wrong, just after the Wall Street crash of 1929, the biggest in history so far, and it was exactly in almost 100 years ago. And with this as kind of the confluence that around 2029, 2028, 2031, more or less we should have the net 2032, so it's not 100 per 30 years, but this is a secular counting of Elliott waves that says we are topped. This is the fifth and final impulsive move up, and then we have correction, big correction, and the correction, if it's a correction of a move that has started here and is done a plus 90,000%, 85,000%, and this move might correct quite a lot. So if we were to correct just this, for example, and going simply at the golden pocket from the top, golden pocket here would be a 50%. So this is what I think the economy, Trump or not Trump, is doing is scare tactics for negotiation, tariffs, the counts of the first tariffs. The counts of the tariffs he first showed the Vietnam as 87%. They were all bullshit number, wrongly calculated, because it was all about the commercial surplus or deficit they had. It was a very stupid calculation, but it was done on purpose to call it out a few days later. So on the short term, we are subject to this news. But on the bigger picture, like I show, the chart has been respected actually, because we identified this as a key zone. We had, now we cancel because here we had a fair value gap that has been where we traded around for quite some time. Now we almost perfectly tapped into this other box. So on the bigger picture, we are respecting the levels. We are doing what we are kind of supposed to. It's just that news drops and price action accelerates, and sometimes when the news is opposite to the where the direction is going, we get basically like here we get a short squeeze, but also here we respected completely perfectly the key zones, because this is a fair value gap. We have it here, probably it's a 4-hour fair value gap, I assume. Yes, that we never even went through 50% of it. Now here on lower time frames, it's going to 1 hour. Here we have this little cluster of demand. And we haven't tapped there yet. So this is what I think, Dave, about the future of the US economy. It's not the best. Has been the economy, mostly the financial assets has been trading pretty high. They grew a lot. So a correction is due. Probably it will also affect the real economy, for sure. It will soon. They're gonna cut rates for real again. I'm thinking that if I'm not wrong, it's May next FOMC, and I think there are good chances also that we get a 0.5% cut, and I'm confident to say they will cut at least 0.25%. And the quantitative easing, it's coming. I think it's coming. It's just a matter of time. But all of this, it's the tail, will be the tail of this bull cycle, where we're gonna go for the last run up. And how high in general markets on Bitcoin, I cannot say right now, because we will have to see how price action will develop, but probably will be the last run up before the bear market will start pretty heavy. And I was thinking till a couple of months ago that this could have happened even before this summer, but with these last months of price action, we're gonna end up kind of mimicking the same of the 2024. Will be ranging, chopping until after the summer. Then we're gonna have the very big, quick run up, September, October, for a couple of months, and we wrap this cycle up. This is my main scenario. If I had to give a timing to it. So now back on the charts, we were saying BTC here. Meanwhile, it kind of looks, it might have bottomed the 78.5k. Reclaim this level. Low time frame starts being kind of again looking decent after this mini drop here. But yeah, Ethereum, we reached perfect. This is on the weekly. This has been the last zone. It's a very wide zone where we had monthly demand. We tapped. We also actually dipped even further. We didn't take this week here, but we went very close, and this was the zone that was super important from my point of view to hold on a very higher time frame, like the weekly, to not close under the box, or we would be forming the first lower low, and structure would look even worse than it already does, because this looks really like shit. So again, like I said, when was the last week, couple of weeks ago, being at this point on chart, macro chart like this could be the zone of max opportunity. Why? Because here invalidation you can have, they can be pretty tight or easy. And like just said, if we were to close weekly under the box, or even under this week, even worse, here you can basically cut anything you have on it. But as soon as we hold in this zone here, maybe this week we're gonna close above, maybe hopefully with a green candle. Here the invalidation for any spot position or also long position would be having stop loss under and targeting range highs. So here having opening spot positions or longs are some of the best RR opportunities you can have, because we are at big of bottom. Are sure positions? No, because they can get stopped. That's why we use stop loss. But if you don't think that this was the cycle top, and then hardly you're gonna get better entries than we have in these few days. As usual, as always, everything depends on Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes up, the entire market goes up. Bitcoin goes down, Ethereum is gonna go look for lower levels, and lower levels in it. If you were to lose the monthly demand zone in here, would be going tapping this zone here, or bear market lows. So I don't personally believe so, but Ethereum has been quite surprising. Then Sol here we still have the macro short if we ever go back to the 178 180 zone. But on what's happening now, here there is a potential long can be taken. This move is correct, this is the news move. Also here in here happened exactly the news. So these lows can be taken in here probably, and invalidation I would say on a 1 hour maybe seems better. So we have our fib. This would be, we are right now kind of bouncing from the golden pocket. Actually this could be entered also with a 10% 20% of risk only of the allocation. Right now market DCA on the 0.75 0.78 zone, stop loss under the 0.886, targeting, this is a scalp long, targeting the 120, and maybe leaving 20% of the position if fully filled, look for higher. Or this, because remember that Solana, like I said, this coin it's in a downtrend very heavy since what was 20 January, on a higher time frames, had bear divs, we cleared key levels, important levels, that if these were not to hold, other levels are the 75 zone, or we have the 57 to 60 zone that could be reversal point. So I hope so far everything it's clear. If you guys have any question, any request for charts you want me to have a look, please write it on the chat, please. Meanwhile, so for who likes this, it's gold. also is going as it should. It reached the 3.618 of this range. Perfect impulsive move. So like with the Standard & Poor, right now you can expect is something like this. Potential correction, forming another range like this. But gold, it's even more related to political and macroeconomical stuff. So this could still give an extended fifth going till at the 3.5k, let's say. So we went through BTC, Sol, little bit Standard & Poor and gold. Let's see DXY. Still ranging has two complete correction from my point of view of the last run up, so has room to fall to the 94-95 zone in the next few months. That's also because probably Trump loves if we can get a weaker dollar to attract more investments. So the DXY here, it's on a very macro range that goes from the 109 till the 80. This is since the 60s, the chart. And what I'm expecting, so it's sooner or later here, once we end up with this consolidation, drop, retest, and drop. That's what I'm expecting for the DXY. Let's see USDT point T. Here, same. This looks like a double top formation, like I showed on Bitcoin. The double top formation has this zone in the middle here that is the retest. If now we were to reverse from here, technical target of this from the neckline should go somewhere in here, tapping on the green box, so on the 5%. So we are in an important zone. We need to watch what BTC is gonna do on very lower time frame. BTC starts to look a bit more constructive because he's taking some high internal highs in here. Let's see how it goes. There is not very big moves happening in this moment. Here is my relative strength chart. Crypto, they seem to be pretty well correlated. Nothing is actually doing anything special against the rest of the market, so everything is pretty correlated. And this is the volatility chart, and here is retracing, so we probably heading into some lower volatility in the coming days. And inflation rate, core inflation, and this. We just had the news volatility. Yeah, we're probably gonna not have that much volatilities in the coming few days. Next week probably is gonna, things are gonna reheat enough to have some nice moves. Let's see how BTC behaves in here. If it starts consolidating lower, like I said, this was the local bottom. We retraced perfectly this, just this mini move in here on lower time frames. And do you guys have any chart you want me to look at, maybe? ADA and link. Okay, link. So wow, link has been beaten up pretty badly, but it went here because this chart on the macro. Okay, let's look at weekly, easier. So this chart, you can see that you have this and this that are the bottom and the top of this range, and we have, this is kind of range mid. We've been ranging, we had a deviation, deviation, deviation. Now if this were to be another deviation, to get some stops in here, we close this weekly back in above the 12, this should normally go and seek liquidity on top of this range, so going probably 16 to 18, and then let's see how it goes. But this doesn't look that great, because if you do on a daily, this daily close, yesterday's daily close, it's the perfect bearish retest of the bottom of the level. It has been support, support, support here, resistance, resistance, resistance. So this is a very important level, 1269, 12.7, let's say. It looks like we are flipping it into resistance. If we were to confirm this flip into resistance, then you have this level, and then it's things becomes pretty bad for link. So I would love to see strength in here, but this is almost down only in a vertical way. Link has been, again, like just said, this are the zone of max opportunity, because if we were to end up doing the same we did in here, it went from 10 to 30, and here the stop loss was under the range. So here you had the 10%, minus 10% stop loss, end up doing a 3x. ADA. So almost tapped into the long. I think this I shared also was last week. No, this is a old stupid thing. Let me see. So ADA, it tapped twice on the 0.75, 0.86. It's consolidating in here, so same as the other charts. This one right now, if you wanna look for a long position, let's see, lower time frames. That's another coin that you could actually enter, because we might be local bottoming right now on BTC, and this would mean hold the market and take this size here, RR, so enter and having a DCA around 0.57. Downtrend, this is also a downtrend. We might be having these equal lows, probably. Those are equal lows, no good. Because we have equal lows, these have good chances that will be taken soon. Let me see, because I think I had here, yes. This is a chart I had months ago. I pointed out about this bouncing zone and this other. So if we are not able now to hold this green box, the 0.55, 0.62, these are consolidating in here and start reversing. Next bouncing zone I see on ADA, it's 0.43, 0.37, and this would be the last zone for bouncing before putting in also in here another lower low. So start really smelling heavily bear market, deep bear market, even though it's putting us so far, it's still putting a series on a very big time frame, series of higher highs and higher lows. So is the bear market started, was 110k the cycle top? Okay, this is gonna confirm the reversal. If we are in a bear market, it's gonna go lower. BTC, will BTC overtake the 110k and make a new all-time high? All this chart is gonna be fucking amazing soon. This CRV that has been one of the strongest in the past few weeks. It dipped here, has this kind of neckline here, shoulder, the head, and technical targets would be going on the 0.92, and this would also line probably, yeah, with the golden pocket, around the golden pocket. It all depends on BTC. ADA, Link, I actually really like Link as coin. Can't say the same for Cardano, but if cycle is not up yet, they're gonna do pretty hard. Do all the coins that I think they strongly believe they're gonna do pretty good. And my main bet is still, like I said multiple times, is still on CRV, AVI, HBAR also looks pretty okay on higher time frames. Any other coins, guys? Gun. What is gun? Gun. Okay, that's a first for me. Never heard about this. Alright. Looks like real shit. But is this the whole is this the whole history? Gun, USDT, let me see, by bit, no, Max C is more history, no, that's the history. Wow. Yeah, really, what the fuck is this guy? Sorry. No, it's way too, if really this is the whole This is inception. This is way too young to say anything. Well, let's try to a lower time frame just to have some fun. Yeah, we are on this potential support resistance zone now. There is disgusting chart, really disgusting. Let's see. It's 886. Okay, if it doesn't run from here, this goes to 0. That's the whole the whole technical analysis I can do on this. So that's the thing. That's the long you can take. If this goes stopped, this chart has no bottom. I mean, if it's not forming right now, kind of higher low, holding here, this how low can go, I don't know. What's the limit on 0 we can put on a coin? So don't have that much to do, and that, as you can see in here, apart from Momo, because this is a personal thing, I only have pretty important coins, all top 100. I don't like to trade shit coins. Normally I have serious stuff and some of the meme that were trending a few months ago, the big ones. Any other coin, or can we wrap this up, guys? Let me see. Okay. And then thank you very much, guys. Again, remember, this is not financial advice, it was only for educational purposes. And thank you very much, and I'll see you next week.